Recording. Okay. So I'm basically going to be talking out loud. So I'm not sure how many people know about the back story behind this, or if anyone read any of the stuff I put in the Facebook page, or if anyone had a look at the Facebook pages for that book. I can explain more after the discussion. I'm just going to go ahead and see what I can do. Which is kind of cool. Alright, and I'm just going to be rambling. That's what I do, I'm a rambler. So I'll start from now and then just go from here basically. I will give a pre-warning. I'll start maybe for a reason, because there's a little bit of nudity, but not much. Don't worry about that. It's going to be tasteful. It'll be okay. I'll make sure it's fine. Okay, so I'm going to carry on from now basically. Alright. Okay. 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 Alright. Don't worry, it's not rude. It's alright. Okay, so right. Whenever I was younger, I would always do this. I don't know why. I was born kind of with this idea that I wanted to do it. And I didn't really understand the actual concept of it. It didn't really make sense to me. It was very bizarre. But I did it anyway, from the age of 7. Who knows why. Mystery to me and everyone else. And I basically decided that I didn't understand what it was. I had no idea why I wanted to do it. I just didn't understand it. So I thought I'd kind of, I don't know, I explored it, but I always resented the fact that I was doing it. It was all a bit too much to take when I was 14 years old. Sorry for the nudity. It's all a bit too much when you're about 14 years old. You don't really know why you're doing it, or what you're doing, or what makes sense, but it made sense for some reason. And it allowed me to explore this part of me that I knew existed, but didn't define my own identity. It was just something that was just there. It was just whatever it was. So basically, I did this thing, and yeah, I don't know why, but it really got me thinking about the idea of how I felt as a human being, and how I explained what I don't know, like how it explained how I felt, like why I felt a bit weird as a kid, which you can maybe understand and maybe not understand, I don't know. But I didn't understand what was going on when I was younger, and I always felt like I had this big secret that no one knew. It really scared me. I didn't really understand why I did it, why I wanted to do it. But I'm really glad I do it. So it's really hot in here. It's steam up in here. This is the essentially rude part. So avert your eyes, do what you want. It's up to you. I really don't mind, but you've been warned to some degree. I could face this way if people prefer. People are interested, they can see as well. Okay. What are you doing Saturday night? Sunday night. Okay. Alright. I apologise for nudity. I really do. I did have several showers. Several. Don't worry. This is something, the first time I ever did it, I was like, what on earth is this? I used the YouTube tutorial. It was all a bit strange. I don't know why I was doing it. And yeah, I didn't understand what it was. Sorry, it just freaked me out. I just realised what was going on. Alright, so I didn't understand why I did what I did, or what I was doing, or why that made sense to me. But I did it anyway, because why not? Why would you not do something that you kind of enjoy? But I was really worried that it would affect my life, and it would affect everything about me, which really scared me actually, because you don't want to lose your identity. How can you ever lose your identity? That's absolutely bizarre, isn't it? I mean, your identity is what it is. I'm sorry for the anger you're getting. This is the hard part, the rest is fairly easy. If you can call it that. I don't really know what it is. I always do my back in at this point as well. And I go, I can't walk for 4 days. Oh, shit. Hold on, give me a minute. Right. I feel like I'm a shit magician. Yeah? I'm going to release something. Alright, it's really hot in here as well. But, okay, it's kind of done. I'll do my best. I'm looking up because I'm nervous and shy. No, this is the first time I've ever done anything like this. It's really difficult to not look what we're doing. But, okay, but this is the hardest part. This is the thing I was worried about most. So it's all okay. Don't worry. We're getting there. And I'm sweating so much already. Okay. Oh, God. Your view's going to get better in a minute. Well, not better, just less gross. Alright, sick. Done. Okay. Okay, so, right. Yeah, so when I was younger I always did this, and I don't know why I was doing it. It didn't make sense to me. It was one of those things I just had no idea what I was doing, why I was doing it. I did worry about how it would affect my my life as a person. I would hate to have lost my own identity just because of this. It's something that's quite common with people. But it definitely got me thinking about the nature of gender, and actually what is gender, if you think about it. And gender is performance. That's the way I put it in. So for example, when we were younger, when we're younger we're born, we have, we're given a jumpsuit. It's a pink jumpsuit and a blue jumpsuit. So, right, if you wear a blue jumpsuit, you're a man, that's what you do. So you go fishing, you go play football. If you're a girl, you do, I don't know, what do girls do? Some stuff that relates to, I don't know, which pushes you in a certain direction. And it's a strange thing that this is the case, but it's the case in terms of the general nature. Time's moved on, a lot's moved on actually in terms of our position in the world as people, and a lot of it has improved for the better. It all makes sense and it's all good in that sense, but there's still lots of problems, incredible amounts of problems when it comes to making decisions on the spot here. I had no idea which one to choose, which I never actually thought would be a case that I would ever, what outfit do I wear? That's ridiculous to me, I had no idea. But so the idea was that why is this? How bizarre is this? And actually, how do we fix this? How do we fix this for everyone? How do we make it possible for everyone to be included? Just how do we relieve the pressure of women? How do we also relieve the pressure of men? So the pressure of men is that we are oppressed by the fact that we can only ever wear, I don't know, trousers, shirt, jeans, shorts, and that's fine. And that's the way civilization wants it to be. What happens when a man decides to wear something else is quite interesting as a concept and a construct. So at the moment, I've been morphing into something else. And I apologise, my mouth's going to go nuts because my tongue goes nuts, because when I concentrate, my tongue just goes crazy. So I apologise if I look like a mentalist. I feel a bit like a mentalist because it's so hot. But basically, yeah, getting there. Okay, so it's really warm, but okay, so that was my idea about it, and I just felt really uncomfortable with that fact that I felt really, really uncomfortable with the fact that a man was meant to be a man. And what does that mean? What does masculinity even mean? Like, maybe challenge all of it. Maybe just like work out what is a man and what is a woman. And it's interesting because I've done some research around this subject, and there's a subject Z, the word Z. It's a they pronoun which refers to a non-binary gender, which is interesting because I did an interview with my friend James, who we all know. Well, not everyone knows. James Perrells. He's one of the greatest men alive, probably, with a camera. Well, Val, potentially. Yes, I would say you were both on the same level of my appreciation. I love Val. It's brilliant. Yeah, so. Yeah, and they referred to me as Z. I didn't really understand because that's the project title, but I'm not Z. Well, I'm just a man. I'm Alex. Whatever. Feels like I was like a really weird superhero. You know what I mean? Like who's confronting these ideas that maybe no one's really talking about or wants to talk about, which is kind of interesting. But also, yeah. So I feel like I don't know where I stand on it yet. I'm still working it out, but it's something that I never felt how hard it is to put something on after you eat some chips. Oh. It was alright before. It's alright, I can get there. Should have gone for the easier option, shouldn't I? But it's alright. It's okay. So, in this stage, I felt very weird about my own identity. And I felt like, well, how does this affect my identity? I know I can't stop it. It won't ever stop. It's just the way it is. It's the way the brain works. It's craving that idea of escape, to escape the world into something else by creating a character that doesn't exist. So it's a character within yourself, but not a character that defines you. But it's, how does that work? I don't know. How does that change my life? I don't know. How does that affect my relationships with women? How does that affect anything? Was I never going to have sex again? Am I never going to be able to have sex? Does it affect everything? Am I never ever going to have children? Will I ever see a second Alex? All because I like doing this. Am I a man? I think I am. I definitely am. Of course I am. I'm Alex. I've always been Alex. It smells in my face. It's really bloody hot. So I need to just cool it down with a something or other. Not my boxers, preferably. That's a bit gross. Okay. Am I a man? I'm going to sit down here. Nice and intimate. Okay. Am I a man because I do this? Is this something that I should be doing? Why do I want to do it? What makes it interesting to me, and why do I want to do it as a result? Is that alright for temperature? Because I'm steaming up.
I think it's because we're directly under that red light and I'm not too bad.
I think so. It's like walking down Amsterdam, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really rubbish. Red light district. Most disappointing red light district ever. Okay, so basically I felt like that this was something I liked doing, and I was worried how it would affect my own life. And in a way it has and it hasn't, because it doesn't affect my life at all. It doesn't affect my desire to have children. It doesn't affect my desire to do anything in particularly like that I feel like I should be doing as a man. A little bit background on me. When I was younger, I really liked my nan. My nan was great. She's my best friend. She's still alive now, which is good. She's useful. She's a really nice lady. And I really liked my nan. And so I was the kind of kid who was listening to Le Miserable. How do you say it? Le Miserable Les? Le Miserable? That A thing, the French thing. I was singing that. That's useful. Sorry, I can get that in a minute. That's okay. That's okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Les Misérables.
That's it.
Les Misérables.
Brilliant. I knew it was one of them. So yeah, and I was singing that. Take him home. It's like take him home. It's the most beautiful song ever because my granddad used to sing it. So I was that kid with a skipping rope singing the Miserable. So yeah, so that was me. I don't understand why. And I was really sensitive. I cry all the time, just because that's the way I was. That's the way I am. I hope I'm doing this well. I think I should be doing it. That's the kind of bloke I was, but at the same time I was quite sensitive. I looked at relationships differently. I wasn't like the other blokes at school who would be like, oh, she's alright, look at her. And I'm like, no, I was like, look at her eyes, mate, she's got beautiful eyes. Oh, look at her, she's got the most incredible, I don't know, feeling about her, look at her. And I always knew that like my relationships would be quite difficult and different because how can you explain something like this to them? And so when I was 7, I go back and ramble, which is the whole idea. That's what I intended to do, ironically, to ramble. Yeah, 7 years old when I first felt it. I didn't understand why. And basically, I lived with my mum and sister, and I don't know if anyone here knows my mum and sister. Maybe not. But they mothered me to death, and I lived under a rock for many years, and I discovered things like weed and cigarettes, and then that set me off into another dimension. Well, that was something that led me there. And I discovered that I was really different, but I didn't understand why. I didn't understand what I was doing and why I was doing the things I was doing. I felt really alienated. I felt like there was something wrong with me. I genuinely thought I had some kind of illness, and I thought like how can anyone in their right mind want to do this? I must be absolutely messed up in the head. But I realised quite early on that maybe I'm not completely messed up, and maybe it's much more common than everyone actually imagined. And actually, it's probably much more common than we believe. And I did a lot of research around it, and there was like this, what was it? I came across some interesting characters. I bumped into this dude, he's 50 years old, bald man. I met him on Craigslist. I was like, alright, let's have a chat. You do it, you seem to know what you're doing, and let's have a chat. That's all I wanted to do. So I just like, okay, well let's do it one day. Okay, so we went there to London, travelled down on my own with him, and I was like, alright, sat down with him for a bit, and then okay, get to it. He was into all of this like sexy bondage stuff, and I was like, oh, it's not really me, really. But you know, if you want to give it a go, then you can give it a go. Crack on, I won't judge. So we did that, and then took some pictures, and then I'll be quite honest, because that's the only way I can be these days. But it was very much early on when I realised that it didn't affect my sexuality, because I wasn't into that in terms of that side of it. And he really wanted to go downtown and do something down there. I was like, well, fair enough, mate. I said to him in the emails, mate, if you want to, crack on, you're doing me a favour, you can go ahead. I don't think I want to do the thing back, because I don't know, that's not me. But if you want to go ahead, you can. And so I literally was wearing this nurse's outfit, because I thought, well, you know, it looked quite interesting. As this dude was going down on me, or whatever you want to call it, like, chomping on whatever you call it. I'm really rubbish, I don't know anything about sex, it's like, what is it? And that was very strange. But for me, I just was like, okay, this doesn't feel right. It feels strange, I don't know what I'm doing. But I felt, okay, he's helped me out. He's given me an ally when I thought I had no one. And that was good. But yeah, he ultimately helped me define that it didn't affect sexuality, which was something I already knew, but it's something I had to just make sure that was the case. Because otherwise I had to confront that question if that was the case, you know, because obviously you're doing something that people wouldn't consider normal, in the sense of what is normal anyway, you know. But yeah, that's actually no one knows about that, apart from Nicole, I think, when I told Nicole, not my sister, Nicole, my sister's called Nicole as well, but she doesn't know really much about any of this stuff. I had to keep it quiet from my family because I'm not quite happy with it at the moment, but I thought, you know what, you only live once, let's just get it out there and crack on. Yeah, so that's one part of it, and I think that part's done. But I realised the lights are so red, I don't even see anything, so that's interesting. Hello, you alright?
Hey, I couldn't hear you, so I moved forward.
Oh, yeah, no, that's ideal. Yeah, no, that's okay. If anyone wants to do the same, they can do. I'm alright with that.
I might sit on the floor because my back's hurting a bit.
Go ahead. Okay, so I had a list of all the things in the way, like, what order I do it in, and then it's all gone. It's all gone. It's like, what is this stuff? Because as a man, I grew up not knowing what this stuff is, so I've had to spend my evening doing this, and it's fun. I like it. Leah's probably wondering what I do in my room. Here you go, Leah. This is what I do in my room. Welcome. You knew already. Oh, this is something I do in my room, and this is something that I was always a bit. I didn't know everyone. Yeah, okay. Well, thanks for understanding me. Yeah. I need a mirror. I don't know what I'm doing. See, it's so complicated. How do girls do this? I'm really. They're just a different planet. They just know what they're doing, don't they? But yeah, I mean. Basically, it does make you question a lot of things. So then I also had about a month or something where I internally asked myself the question, am I a man? And I went, I think I am, I must be, therefore I am. But for a moment I did think that maybe I wasn't, because it was such a strong urge to do this. And then I tried to work out, what is it? Really, what is it? Why do I do this, and why do I want to do this? It doesn't make any sense. I was racking my brains, and at this point I already told people. Actually the first time I told someone was at a party in Newport. Someone gave me some ketamine. It was really horrible, and I remember the crunch, and it makes me feel really nervous, ketamine. And I had it, and I talked for about 6 hours about this to this dude I didn't even know. And then he was just like, and I said, I just told him what I did. He was like, no, that's alright. I wear nail varnish. I'm like, fair enough. That's alright. That's a start. So I went there and I did that. So then I spoke to that dude. That was the first time. I never told anyone. And I was doing it for many years before that as well. Okay. And it was certainly interesting how that kind of panned out. That'll be fine, won't it? Just wait a minute. Okay, so it definitely made me challenge my own identity, my own sexuality, and what I was doing. But I asked myself the questions, but I think that I actually knew what the answers were. But I felt like I had to ask myself the questions to be sure, because obviously I don't want to then live a lie, because who wants to live a lie? And so many people actually do that as well. They just ignore it as if nothing ever. As if it doesn't happen. It's not occurring, so we don't have to worry about it. It's fine. I'll ignore it, and we don't ever have to think about it again, ever again. But for me, that wasn't the way. That wasn't it. That didn't feel right. It felt wrong. It felt like there's something wrong going on here. I need to sort this out right now. It's holding me back from everything. And it was holding me back from my dreams, my aspirations, and what I wanted to do. Let me just focus on this for a minute. This is quite difficult. Although it's nice on your eyelids, though. Imagine doing this every morning. It'd be quite nice, wouldn't it? Quite. And so I was basically just really questioning my own identity, and I realised that I knew what my identity was. I was Alex. I always was. And the second I realised that, I went back to being 7 years old again when I first looked at this doll, and I was really scared of dolls. But there was one where it had some shoes you could take off. And this is the weirdest thing I'm probably ever going to say in my entire life, but it seriously happened. I looked at that doll and I went, I wonder if I can put those shoes on. It sounds absolutely mental. At the time I had no idea what was wrong there. I thought, something big wrong. Am I wrong in eye? And then I tried them. Obviously my feet were big at 7 even then. And I couldn't get them anywhere near my feet. But that was the first experience, and it was the first idea. I thought maybe I wanted to try and do something with it. And then it was lots of running around, hiding, pretending that I had never, pretending that I didn't do this, and fully well knowing that my family had no idea. Even though they may have known, and that was my biggest fear as well. If they ever knew, I would have freaked out and my life would have been over. But I suppose in that instance, I kind of laugh about it now. Because I told everyone. I told Valentine over there on the beach, and I never told anyone before, and it was liberating. This is the hard part, so I'm going to have to look up for a minute, so I'll try and talk at the same time, but I'll do my best. But first time I told someone properly, I felt like, right, okay, I'm onto something. Right, okay. It's freaking me out as well. All I can see is my face. Right, okay, I'll ignore it. Right. And so I felt like that was a good idea at the time to tell Valentine on the beach whilst drinking whiskey, because it could just be a drunken mistake. It'd be fine. And it made sense at the time. And I was like, okay. So I did that. Valentine was like, brilliant, no worries, we love you as you are, you're brilliant. And I was like, fantastic, that's great. But even then, I didn't fully accept myself. I still didn't feel like I was very happy with my decision to tell people. And I was like, I need to tell everyone. Like, how do I do this? So random people on the street, I'd be like, oh, nice to meet you, how you doing? I'm like, Alex, nice to meet you. I'm like, yeah, I'm a cross-dresser, straight away. Oh, sick. Like, what do you do? I'm that. I'm like, oh, and instantly that was my defence mechanism. And then I got addicted to telling people. My boss, one of my bosses, Frank, found out when I showed Robin on my phone. And that was quite an interesting one. And even Matt, my old boss, now knows through an article that was published. So all of a sudden, the world was finding out about this idea that I had. But at the same time, I didn't know how I felt about that at all. I was right all the time. Have you ever poked yourself in your own knees?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe you're talking and doing it at the same time.
Oh really?
Even I can't do that, and I've been putting on mascara for God knows how long.
It's probably going dry. I'm too embarrassed to buy this stuff in the shops, so luckily someone gave me this. So, again, I had no idea. But it's like drawing on your face, isn't it? It's like being an illustrator, you know? I am an illustrator to some degree. Leo might disagree. Sometimes. But yeah, I am, when I bother to draw, I do actually draw. But yeah, I mean, the more I told people, the more I found that it was better, it got better. And then I walked out, there's a genuine, really true story I'm actually going to tell you now. I was at the pub, St James, our local, that we used to go to all the time, and we should do before we go. I genuinely sat there thinking, I'm going to be asexual for the rest of my life, because who's ever going to have sex with me at this point with, who wants to ever go out with someone who does this? I didn't accept myself at all. I felt completely hollow inside, and I felt like something seriously wrong with me, and and it was going to go really wrong, just like that happened. I apologise. I don't know why I'm apologising. It's red, so you can't even see. I'm probably just looking exactly the same. And I thought I was going to be. I don't even know what asexual means. I had to Google it. But I guess it means someone that doesn't have sex at all. It's a shame because I like sex, but it just doesn't happen to me. So it's, I don't know. But I thought that was going to be a problem. I'm going to leave it a bit. It's too hard in this red light. Okay. And I went home. I left early, and I wrote some stuff down on my phone to feel better because I felt awful. I didn't know what was going on. And I made this post, I put it on this phone here, and I just explained everything. Exactly what it was, why I do it, and why I like doing it, and what was good about it. And I then just said, well, I'm seeing my dad tomorrow. He wanted to speak to me before, but I thought, well, let's just publish it anyway. It's here, I might as well publish it. So I published it on Facebook, and then I was just like, so all of a sudden 430 people, if they read it, would have known that I do this. It was kind of scary, but at the same time it wasn't. It was like, there was nothing scary about it at all. It was like liberating. I played FIFA in between just to kind of take my mind off it. Had a look again. Oh, 30 likes, alright. Turn it down a bit. 121 likes, then a phone call comes from my dad. What are you doing? I'm like, and I was just like all defensive because I was passionate, I was emotional. It was the biggest decision I've ever done in my life. To tell people, it sounds ridiculous. I need to do this bit, it takes a while, and I'm finished. I want to look at myself. I think it's the right colour. It's red, but it's kind of ironic because the room's red, so you won't see it there. But there you go, something's happening. And I told my dad, and he called me up. So what's wrong with you? Why are you putting this out to the world? Why? You're never going to get... you'll never be a teacher. So why is that? Because who would employ you? You're a deviant. I didn't say that, but I felt like a deviant. But I'm not a deviant. I'm just a man who likes doing it. And I talked to him for about 3 hours, and it was really intense. And I ended up... That was the last time I spoke to him, actually, for a while. Because I just genuinely couldn't speak to him for a while again. I still haven't. I'll leave soon and I haven't spoken to them. It's been a problematic situation. But I decided that it was probably, I understood his decision for not wanting to actually accept me for what it was, and I understand his decision. He's a businessman, he's 50 years old, he's just found out his son probably is a bit of a weirdo, so I can understand it, but it was just a bit strange for me, and it made me very uncomfortable. And I then just said, you know what, I'm not embarrassed anymore, I'm alright, you know, I'm alright, and I've got nothing to be ashamed of anymore, because why would I? Because at the end of the day, I'm a human being, and it kind of makes me more interesting as a human being, the fact that I do this, because it means that I can actually appreciate and understand how women feel. I can appreciate and understand how my mum felt, how my sister felt when, I don't know, like when she felt vulnerable when she went outside. I can understand how when I look outside, how women feel if they feel like someone's chasing them or someone's eyeballing them or something like that. I know now how it feels. I know how it feels to feel like you need to lose weight, because I look at it and go, I know how it feels to go, what outfit do you wear? I know how it feels to actually be victimised, and I want to put myself in a position to highlight the fact that actually we're all the same, and gender is a performance, and why on earth are we actually like, why is it so regimented? Why is a man defined by this, this and this? And why is a woman defined by this, this and this? Why can't a woman be this, this and this, and why can't a man be this, this and this? And what I'm saying is, I wouldn't say it's probably wise that every man starts dressing like this, but to highlight the fact that you can change performance and change around, and you can shift things around, completely change your whole body, is fascinating to actually show that we are the same and we all need to unite together. Otherwise we are literally just fucked. That's pretty much where I finished in terms of how I feel. I hope that wasn't too weird for you, especially the nudity, that freaked me out. But basically, it's up to you. Well, we can, because part of the reason why I wanted to show you this was because I wanted to highlight these things about how we're similar. At the same time, I also wanted to see what other people felt about it after they've seen it, also how they feel in general about the whole topic and situation. So I was thinking, does anyone feel like they want a break, or can we carry on the discussion there? Does anyone feel like they want to go for a cigarette? Does anyone thirsty for a little bit?
I might nip to the toilet.
Yeah, we can have a loo slash.
Should I go now?
Yeah, if you want to, yeah. If anyone else wants to go to the toilet, yeah, that'd be fine. Obviously, appreciate it.
How many minutes?
You can have 5.
Yeah?
Yeah.
5? What about 5
You
and a
can have
half?
5, yeah. 5 if you want. Yeah.
Maybe I leave.
Alex, what about the shoes? I was thinking, why are we not putting heels on?
I don't have any. I'm size 9. My feet are quite big. But all I had was trainers. And I forgot my other shoes that I was going to bring with me.
It's fine. Most of the models are size 9 or higher.
Oh, are they?
Right now in fashion, trainers and skirts is, so it's
Tall
fine.
girls.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I've got some SBs here. Some nice, lovely dog-eating SBs ready to go. If anyone, actually, for the discussion, it might be good if everyone came in this room. And then, sure, yeah, that sounds good. Oh, thank you for the water. Thanks.
Yes.
Do you want water?
I don't care.
Should I move out the way?
No, I think you're a perfect addition for him.
Whoa! Sorry. No! No! Ah, that's like.
Thank you.
No, it's-
That's quite confusing. because it's hard to do it in the dark, and there's a great light, and it's hard to actually see. Yeah, go ahead, sit down.
Yeah, probably the light was not.
It wasn't, but then that's quite good because it took the pressure off me to actually like make it perfect. Because I had this big list and I was like, I can't do this list and talk at the same time. It's still rolling. Yes.
Or do you want to leave it out?
No, that's okay. I'm just going to move this across here. That's from up there actually. It's kind of nice, it's backgammon. A bit of backgammon. Okay.
Did that take a lot of courage?
I was nervous all day.
Yeah.
I was quite nervous. I was nervous about telling some of the stories because I kept them to myself. That was quite terrible. But I just figured like, I know like lots of people here. I think I've had to like do things and think about it. Because otherwise I'll never do anything.
Yeah.
I think if I hadn't, I think I needed to do it. No. Yeah, I felt like I needed to do something. Yeah, I needed to do it. Oh yeah. There we go. If you want to come in here, you can go around here because if we have a discussion, it's probably easier. But it's up to you. If you prefer sitting there, it's cooler.
Oh yeah, no, we met.
Oh, be careful with that light here. Yeah. The light is very loose, so.
We just do that and force it.
Whoa, that light's gone mental.
I feel comfortable on the floor. Because it's just old people that work with it.
It's colour.
I'm waiting to see it.
Oh yeah.
That's
Alright, yeah.
I was expecting to come in here. Need a light. Oh, here's a light. Uh-huh.
There you go.
Okay, now it's got a light. That'd be okay. Just... Yeah, that'd be alright. Yeah, it'd be fine.
Look at it. It's not moving.
It's alright. Okay. Okay. Is that everyone?
No.
Yeah. But, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. Alright, I don't know if anyone wants to discuss anything at all. Feels like we're in a nice little lounge, doesn't it? You know? We are, technically. But, I don't know. I can kick off and ramble again, or if anyone wants to. Yeah.
So, as of today, literally today, where do you stand on your awakening or epiphany or whichever way?
I'm a little bit lost, personally, because it's consumed me for so long that I don't really know where I stand with it anymore, because it's confused me. I don't even know, like, I see like it being published in some German article, and it's like, and it's all of a sudden like, I don't know. I feel like I've stepped over this big line, but I don't know what that line is, and I have no idea what it means. I know what I'm happy with, and I know what I'm happy to keep it as this kind of extra side thing, but I don't really know what it's meant to be in terms of my entire life. I don't think it actually means anything, really. I think it means more the fact it's no longer a secret. I can actually utilise it as a performance tool to create something that's quite good for discussing gender as a whole. But however long that goes on for, I don't really know. But I've noticed little things in my life anyway, like I grow my hair, not just accidentally. I just wanted to shave. I went to Kia, my sides got shaved off, and I was like, I've lost my sides. So then I haven't had it cut since, it was a year ago, And now, and then that changed a lot of things because I started to pick up on more like feminine traits in me that I always knew were there, but they were traits that didn't affect my personality. They were just things, little tiny things. And I noticed that was quite an interesting factor, which I didn't expect for that to happen. But I don't really know. I guess I'll find out what it means. I know what I want out of life, but I didn't really expect to go this far into it. And I didn't expect to know that just be as public about being about it. It's not really happening, and it's kind of strange. But yeah, that's how I feel at the moment.
Are you gonna like go out in public as a woman, or is it more of a private and performance thing, or?
I'm much more interested in the idea that like I think a more utopian way of looking at things in terms of like I think it's more based on I would like more the freedom to express whatever you think on the day. So that's the message I really want to put across is that sometimes you might feel that you want to do it, and sometimes you think, oh, that would be the worst thing ever to do. For example, like to go like this every day would be like a nightmare. I couldn't do it. For me, like the second I take it off, I can't wait to get up and go, oh God, give me a big baggy t-shirt, some shorts, mate, and then just cruise, you know? But then that's the thing for me, like, I know it's not a permanent life decision, and it's not something that would affect change any part of my identity. I would like the freedom to go outside and not be like, I don't know, like, in danger about it. But at the same time, I do worry. I don't know. I think that it's important to. For me, it's important that I can do it whenever I want, and it's just about raising the profile of it so more people are discussing it, so more people understand it, but also more people look at themselves and go, well, actually, I'm really sensitive and I cry at films. I cried at the office today just because I was really passionate, and Tim and Dawn got together finally, and then David Brent told Finchy to fuck off, and I couldn't believe it. And I was like, yes! And I just felt something for me, but then I think that builds the adrenaline as to why I am like I am now.
But
yeah.
You did go out like it once.
I did.
And
yeah.
How did you feel when you were out?
I felt my.
So where did you go? You went to a pub, right?
The Great Eastern.
Okay, so you went to a pub.
Yeah. It was fun. It was fun. It was liberating actually, because I could walk around, and I felt like I was convincing them to the point. I don't want to like it. There's an idea that you'll pass. I don't mind if it was I have to do whatever it's done. That's fine. I don't really mind that. And it was fun. It was nice. I did feel like my eyes were in my brain. So therefore I couldn't move that much, and I was so conscious of everything that it freaked me out. And then I was talking to people, and they weren't saying anything, even though they never met me before. And I'm like, what? Why aren't you saying something? It's like you can clearly see.
What's saying, like?
What's going on?
Like highlighting that you're wearing women's clothes.
Yeah. I almost wanted them to say, like, come on, say it. Let's highlight the obvious. I'm the
not
elephant.
necessarily people want to say that. You're having a drink, somebody's there wearing a woman's clothes. Like, yeah, he's having a good time. Like, it's not necessarily that people are obliged to challenge your idea because they're like, oh, fair play, mate. You know.
Yeah. Well, it's probably been seen before in Brighton. I mean, it's Brighton.
Yeah.
It's not the biggest.
I was going to say, you're in the worst place for this.
Yeah.
People are really accepting you.
Well, yeah. I mean,
why you cannot speak about it, you know? So yeah, I think in France people might have said something you're quite, you know, I don't know, but yeah, I understand. But, yeah.
It's kind of like
nobody said nothing. Nobody.
No one said anything.
Wow.
And that kind of freaked me out. I was just like, for me, that was like quite a big decision to go and do that. And I thought like, I don't know, it was a bit strange for me. But then I always like at the end of the night I had to go back, and I kind of sat there thinking, actually I don't mind wearing this for a little bit longer, because I kind of liked it, because the way it made me feel was like, I know it's the first time I ever like did it with a couple of friends ages ago in front of people. They said you changed, and I changed. I don't pick up on it, but apparently my body language changed, and everything about me changed, but then I had no idea that it happened. So it's just kind of like completely like just very fluid motion just happened. It was just like, but I had no concept of it. I had no I don't actively go, right, now I've changed. I know exactly where I am, I'm still exactly the same. I don't really think of the name of it, oh look, I'm, I don't know, Francine or something. I just think, I'm Alex.
Yeah.
Different, slightly different. I don't know.
Alex, so just know I can share that your Facebook video.
Yeah?
Yeah, films, yeah, get emotional.
Yeah?
Facebook video in the office, yeah, can get me going.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm an old geezer, so
Yeah, yeah.
it comes with an age.
Especially cat videos, I really
Yeah.
No, I was joking.
right.
Because that's what the Instant's for, it's just cat.
So,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Do you feel like you have the same, like a consistent style when you dress women's clothes as you do men's clothes? Like, do you feel like you have the kind of like laid back style of like menswear? Is it the same for women, or are you exploring what style you like?
I'm definitely exploring more because there's so many options. So I can dress like an old lady, like Nicole has given me many options
But
to
you're
do.
just going to say like it.
No.
That would be fair enough.
Yeah, no, because I've basically looked at Nicole's wardrobe for a long time, so just thought it's been just because it was coming out. I don't know. I don't really know what it is. I like the idea of combining like my extra nice t-shirt with the skirts and that being okay and no one thinking about it. I like the fact that I can have long hair and I can put it back, and I don't really care if it looks good. I don't really mind. And I do that every day now. I don't care that I've got shaved legs because I prefer it. For me, when I'm a runner, it makes me look better. And also, I don't really like hairy legs. I kind of prefer it. But these are little elements I brought into my own life that I know that I'll come under scrutiny for, but I don't really mind. And it's kind of built my confidence up to the point where I'm like, alright, that's fine. And then style-wise, I don't really know. I like the idea that I can create anything I want. Because anything I create doesn't physically really exist. Because it's just a layer on top of my actual life. But this influence, it kind of like seeps into my own personality. So if you think about it, it's like a layer that kind of goes, whoop, right, okay, now you're kind of a different version of it, but you're going to be the same. And it's like, yeah. And for me, that's quite interesting. So, yeah, I think I don't know, I wouldn't ever go like, oh, let's put a short skirt on and like, I couldn't walk in heels, for example, I'd be rubbish at it. I'd look too tall. But I don't know, I'll give it a go. I've worn nurses up, so there we go. In a dodgy little London flat, and I don't know what's going on. Shouldn't have done that really. My mum doesn't know that, that's just fine. But yeah, that was kind of.
And do you feel self-conscious when you wear a short skirt in comparison to wearing short shorts? From the point of view of women feeling self-conscious about it?
Well, I've been thinking about this actually. It was when I went to your party. Well, not because I've got those shorts, running shorts, standard shorts, and you said, "Oh, I thought you were wearing a skirt." That was like a joke, though. It was a joke. But like, for me, I was actually thinking, what is a skirt? Shorts with a crotch, right? That's all it is, right? Especially, minus. Yeah. So I was thinking, actually, like, there's not much difference between this and my actual running shorts that I wear all the time.
oh, Alex, after the Pride, I was wearing a miniskirt.
Yeah.
That's damn beast.
It's a whole different beast, isn't it?
Game.
Completely, yeah. It's a funny use of words as well.
The more you walk, the higher it gets.
Yeah.
It's both bits and bobs.
Oh my gosh. You look great though. You look great.
You always have to do little thing there. You do it in style because you're like,
yeah.
people are watching and all that. So.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I mean, I forgot which. But the difference between shorts and a skirt. I don't feel vulnerable because I'm wearing shorts, but I do feel vulnerable that people will look at me and think you're not masculine enough, because they'll look at it and go, well, that person's got like quite floppy looking hair, and not like floppy like a 16-year-old skater. Like it's quite intentionally looking more feminine because I think that's what I kind of like. At the same time, I kind of like the idea that I can blend the two, so it's almost a dual-edged, double-edged sword. But I used the shorts as a training thing to be like, well, if I can get away with shorts this short and no one say anything, I'll be alright. And I could train to be other things, but it's very different. I don't feel vulnerable because no one wants to, I don't know, that's the thing, like, I never felt vulnerable that anyone's ever going to try and violate me, because it doesn't happen anyway. So it's like I couldn't get someone to let me in if I wanted to. So that's kind of interesting at the same time as well. And that's just the way I've done it. So I've never ever felt like someone's going to get me. But that's quite interesting, is that maybe if I was dressed like this I would, because I see the difference between a short and a skirt is really different. Because it's more of an intention, I think.
I was just thinking about Pippa's question about if you have like a style of women's clothes that you choose, and it made me think of one of the first times we were looking at my wardrobes, and there were so many clothes, you looked quite overwhelmed, and then it was like, oh, where do I start? But for your photo shoot, when you were choosing clothes, I think you were mostly looking for things that flattered your figure, made you look more feminine. So I remember there was this thing about having broad shoulders, and we were trying to make your shoulders look a bit smaller, and we picked the same style of dress. You had 3 different dresses, but they were all a really similar shape that made you look a bit more feminine, and I think that was like your primary consideration at that time.
It's interesting, because I felt like it's a defence mechanism. If you look really feminine, you could be a girl. So it's a defence mechanism. If you look like a bloke in a dress, then you could be totally beaten up. But if you're really good at it, and you look like you could be a girl, then no one bat an eye.
Yeah.
And that, for me, it was almost a safety thing as well. Not for the shoot, obviously, everyone knew what was going on, but for the shoot, yeah, it was interesting, because the stuff we chose actually wouldn't always be what I would choose personally.
Yeah.
Now I review it back, I'm like, actually, I would prefer something like this, for example. I was weighing it up, the two.
Yeah, I think so.
And I kind of, this is what I did in the picture for the event, and I wasn't sure if to do that, but I actually kind of like the idea that I recreated them and put them in the picture. But I don't really know. Like, it's like, how do you completely get a new catalogue of clothing, which you don't really understand? Where does that even come from? You know, I mean, like, I only know t-shirt and shorts. It's just the way I've been brought up. Obviously, I've been unorthodoxly grown up with like clothes, but I have to do in secret. I've only had certain amounts, but I've tried on all sorts of stuff, and I've also realised that, yeah, as a man, you're limited to how much you can wear to some degree, because not everyone suits you. I don't know. It's a weird one. I still don't even know what half of it means. I'm still baffled as to what it is, and I don't even know what cross-dressing is meant to mean.
I think that's all right, because you know what it means now. It might develop and mean something else in the future, or as you explore it, you might find that it doesn't mean this, but it does mean this. I mean, I guess you're kind of at the beginning of your journey. You know, you're out in the open journey, so it's kind of like a new chapter, isn't it? Because you're now discussing it and people know about it. So I guess that you'll find out, I guess.
Yeah. There's no pressure for it to like evolve into something bigger.
Is there anything that you really don't want it to evolve into? Do you have?
I don't want to lose my identity.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I'm scared of, but I know it won't happen. But at the same time, you have to also be scared of it, because at the same time, I'm very aware that I am myself. I'm very aware that my name's Alex. I've always been a man, and I always will be a man. It's just the way it is. But I also acknowledge that I have feminine tendencies, which means that I would act maybe in a way that, like, it's different to your local big lad. You know, I'm really different in that respect. I am scared. At first, I was really scared that it would define my identity, but I'm glad it isn't, and that it doesn't, because for me, like, that was what I was really worried about. I thought I'd have to completely change my life for it, and even though, because it was just something that lasts for a temporary thing, I thought then that I wouldn't be then deemed attractive as a man, because I wasn't necessarily manly enough as a man. I don't know. I don't realise what manliness was, but I realised I don't really care what manliness is. I like being like this. I feel like it defines my personality, and I feel like instead of had this big traumatic phase, 14, 15, don't know what's going on, 18, 19, university, ignoring it, too busy, and then the second you say something, it's a huge spell where you don't know, and then the second you say something, you're ready, you're a prime human, you're ready to go, and then you go back to being 7 years old again before it even started. And when I had a bowl cut and I was bowling around being an idiot, like just running around talking to everyone, and I realised that my confidence has gone like from there at 7 to down, and now I'm just finally getting out of this big hole. I created for myself, because if I had just gone, accepted it, fine, 7, brilliant, nice one, right, okay, I would have been 10 times more confident. But the problem is, it sent me down this huge pool of depression, anxiety, all this sort of stuff, because I thought society would never accept me, and society would never be okay with the fact that I did this. And also, I'll never have children, and I'll never be able to let I don't know, like, all the things I aspire for most in the world is to, like, see a second Alex and all this sort of stuff, and like, second Alex, it sounds really weird. I just want to know, I just want a child, and I wanted to.
Name it Alex.
Yeah, well, do whatever it wants, you know. Yeah, there you go, it's a little baby. I want a baby, but I'm not 10, 12, 15 years at the time. I've got lots of time left. But yeah, that's the area of my life that I like at the moment. But I was scared that it would define my own identity, because it's overpowering sometimes. It's really empowering.
Do you think you could anticipate that your I mean, I guess your dad in particular, do you think you sort of already had the idea that he wasn't going to react well to it?
Yeah, I knew that. I knew that. Yeah, I was expecting it, but I wasn't expecting the reaction to be as severe. Yeah. I was thinking, if that was my son, well, how would I react and what would I say, knowing that it's my son, you know? And I would actually, But there came a point when I was just like, you know what, I don't really mind what you say, because he hasn't been around anyway. So if he's not around, and he only comes around when I'm sad, it's like, well, see, I've lived with my mum and sister for a long time. It's probably the reason why I've probably done this, because I've lived with my parents, my family like that. So at the end of the day, I'm alright with it, and it's okay.
Do you think you're going to be more open with them about it? Because that was the thing about the article, like, it was just so well written, and like you explained it so well, and it was just really good. When it got to the point with your parents, like, obviously those of us know that they weren't accepting, like, and they were really suggesting you do things that you shouldn't have to do, like, you know, change your Facebook, take things down, and like, you shouldn't have to do them. And in that interview, you were just like, oh, and they were fine with it, and that annoyed me. I was just like, you've come so far, like, you're doing all of this. It's sort of like pulling off a plaster, just do it all, just like, don't, like, and you did that because you were worried that they were going to read that article, and I just want you to, like, this has been, like, really good, and it's like a massive thing you've done, it's been awesome, and, like, you know, everyone's supporting you, and I know your parents mean a lot to you, but sometimes you've just got to think, fuck you, like, I'm going to do what I want, and you need to be not less considerate, because obviously if they're not happy with it, they're just not going to change, they're old, they just don't change their opinions, whatever, but also don't hide things and don't not say things in interviews, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's something. That's what I've been. I had to block my mum and all the family members on Instagram because they said get a new Instagram. Like, well, I've just got 1,000 followers, so I'm not going to work it up again. I just realised today it was like 1,005. I was like, well, that took a long time to get up to. So I was like, oh, sick. 1,000 seems okay. But then, I agree. But I think my mum's weird, and I've fallen out with her a bit about it as well, because at the end of the day, she doesn't seem to. She says she's trying to process and understand it, and I think that's fair enough. But talk to me about it, because that's the only way you can process and understand something like this. And I gave her examples like Grayson Perry is a great example of someone who's killing it. He's a sick dude. He's got wife, kids. Look at him. He's teaching. There you go. All the things my dad said I couldn't do, he's doing. And I told him that on the phone. I said to him, like, oh, here's an example of someone that's done it, and they're doing it at the highest level, and they're like the sickest artist, and it was just like, just didn't think about it. Well,
but then you said that you get pressure from the society, but then, you know, you have quite a lot of people that support you, so maybe there's actually pressure more from the family members that are really close to you. I mean, like, to you it's really important. So that's why you think that from society there is this massive pressure, but actually it should be really discussed. Because regarding, yes, like women and men, they are, you know, very different. But actually, like, regarding fashion, women is more open to, let's say, dress up as a man, like in man clothing, and it's fine. No one actually cares about it.
Yeah.
But then for a man to dress up as in women's clothing, there's a massive stigma about that.
Yeah.
And then I think it's really important, you know, to discuss that and
maybe you just kind of think that there is this massive pressure just because of your family, even though there isn't, and maybe people are actually ready to kind of change things around, or maybe people are waiting for that to happen.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's something that is pretty much my mission, really, is to talk about as much as I possibly can do. Regarding my family, like they grew up in Hampshire, which is like nothing happens in Hampshire. It's very much standard. Like it's very conservative, and not just politically, but in everything, the way they believe and everything. So anything that's slightly out of the ordinary is, oh, hold on, that's not X Factor on Saturday night, and that's not getting a Mini Cooper and doing that.
But that's what parents do. I mean, they have expectations since you're born, and I guess matching your expectation with what real life brings you is a challenge. It's like even at school, you have to have all A's. Why? It's like not every kid does it, and many kids they do it. They go really bad at school, but in life they succeed. Yeah. But for 20 years they have the stigma because at school they sucked. And it's the same. Even like in dancing, if there's a man that wants a boy that wants to dance, oh my God, you have to be gay. No, why is it? If you are a female and you want to play football, oh my God, are you okay? And it's moving on, but it's gonna take time.
Well, it's quite amazing you said that, because I used to be a tap dancer as well when I was a kid.
I always played football, but it was accepted because I had brothers.
Yeah.
But like my friends who were female and with no brothers, who came and played with me, they were like, oh, you're a female and you want to play? Yeah, I'm a female too and I play with you every day. Oh, but you're Marco's sister. Kind of interesting how it works. So it's like you have certain slug. It's like you are allowed to go out of the boundaries of gender boundaries on certain occasions. Like for Pride, it's fine to dress up as a man or a woman, regardless of sex. But any other day, you feel that it's not okay. But then, in Italy, for example, where I grew up, to actually be accepted, since you're 14, you have to dress up as a professional woman, not actually like as a teenager girl growing up. So you are at high school, and almost everyone is in miniskirts with like very sexual kind of like clothing, and all with the makeup of like a 30-year-old going to work. It's like, wait, that's not even natural, but it's accepted to the point they have to ban a certain kind of miniskirt, saying like, wait, even the shorts have to be longer than this because then it's like not acceptable. Yeah. So wherever you go, where like there's a limit, and has to be pushed. I mean, again, at 14, dress whatever you want, but maybe over-exploring your sexuality in that sense could make more harm than be helpful for you. Yeah. So, again, if you want to wear a skirt, why not? What's the problem? How does it diminish you if you are comfortable with it?
Well, and that's something I actually picked up on. If I realise if I walk with confidence with something, then no one's really got anything to say to me, because like if I'm going over, I'm scared, then they're going to see us as an easy target. But I've noticed that since, like, because I had to, like, I had no hair on my legs, and I keep up topping up. For marathon running sometimes, but in order to do that, people look, and I don't mind that because I just walk past and I just forget about it. You get so used to blanking it out that you don't even realise it's even happened. And that's the only way we'll get past this, because you're introducing new ideas to the world, which the world probably isn't ready for just yet. Not saying we're revolutionary.
They are ready though. They're ready for you to shave your legs. They're ready for me to have hairy legs. And like the more we like explore it and be comfortable and engage with it, it's like, and say that it is okay, and that like I don't have to cry at the office. I can have hairy legs, and I am still a woman, and I can wear like it's not even men's clothes, is it? It's just clothes that men normally wear, and it's not like you're wearing women's clothes. It's you're wearing other clothes, maybe.
Yeah. I mean that's the thing to make it completely across the board.
And also right now, like with unisex clothing, I'm not like a fashion designer or anything, but like I found that there is a massive trend about unisex. That actually there is like certain clothing designed for women and men. It's exactly the same cut. You just put like women can put just a belt or something between those, and it looks almost exactly the same. Yeah. So, and I actually saw quite a few people walking around with something more like unisex clothing. Either it's like a long dress for a man, and the jeans, and it could be the same, for a woman, like jeans kind of dress, but with the belt, just kind of to show more like curves or something. So, you know, these things exist, and I think with more time it actually evolves into something kind of, you know, bigger.
Yeah,
So
also,
yeah.
I think, you know, as far as a personal transition goes, yet you're not discovering a bicycle, because people were doing this from the very early stages, you know. There's plenty of examples back in the days, and you know, the Greeks and etc. Japan has a really strong history of the theater, where all the roles were played by men. It has a name, I always forget it. I should study. You know, in certain parts, in certain countries, certain kind of conservative countries, say like Bulgaria and Romania, it's quite common for two men to hold hands. It's just they're more, you know, they're really kind of masculine, but at the same time, it's acceptable there, and probably would not be acceptable here, etc., etc. You know, so I mean, it's, you know, yeah.
And also, like David Bowie, like he was massive cross-dresser, but for some reason, you know, people don't really talked about that fact that he was actually doing that very often, like almost, you know, all the time. Yeah, exactly. It was like part of the performance, but just because it was part of the performance and his presence on the stage, no one actually said anything. It was just, you know, just an image.
Yeah.
You know. And I think even like in the 90s or 80s, you look into rock bands or like metal bands, like men are wearing makeup and with this crazy curly hair, just, you know, dancing, and that was fine for some reason. You know, no one actually said anything.
That's the thing, right? Because that's your identity, whereas you say it's a picture. So everything is okay with a picture, but when it's because do you like, is that there is pleasure in it or not? Do you like to do it, like?
Oh, what, this?
Yeah.
It makes me like, imagine if I'm sad, I resort to this, because it kind of takes me out of my head and to somewhere else. Yeah. So actually, usually when this happens, nothing else exists in the world. It's just, oh right, completely weird area. And whatever space I'm in is the space it becomes. So I'm very much just like, it's a defense mechanism as well.
Do you think if you do it a lot, you will lose a bit this kind of things or not, you know?
It never loses its magic. It's such a magic experience, because what you're doing is you're completely changing your whole presence, everything. Like, so obviously the main thing that defines you as a man is obviously your little fella and whatever comes with it, you know, whatever standing between my legs. So
it's a bit more complicated.
But in terms of the second when I lose that, and when that goes up, it's like instantly then that then pushes you into a different zone. But I don't know. I guess I feel like I need it in my life. If it wasn't there, I would be struggling, and it's a good defense mechanism.
Why identity is so important?
My identity. I've spent my whole life just pursuing my identity, really, because I didn't understand what I was. I didn't really understand myself.
So what identity means to you?
It's a good question. I like it. I don't know if I can answer it. I'll do my best, but I don't really know what identity means because I'm in the process of trying to work it out. I mean, what does it mean to you?
I never thought about it.
So that's the first time I've actually...
Like identity, problems, and whatever.
Clear
by accident.
Out of the conversations...
I'm curious. I'm curious, actually.
Out of conversations that we had before, I just kind of thought a bit about identity, that, you know, in your position, you are always kind of oppressed as a person by your family members and by the society, that you actually were not able, you know, to go outside, you know, and, you know, girly outfit or something like that. So I think that's kind of, you know, who we are and the way we want to be. If you feel oppressed, you can't express yourself and you can't be free in a way and to do whatever you want to. So maybe that's kind of related to your identity and who you are, and when you can't be who you are, that's when it becomes very difficult. Kind of you lose part of yourself.
I mean, I live on an island, and it's like a small town. And summertime is flooded with tourists, but winter times it's barely anybody, nobody. It's like if you want to meet people, you meet people in the post office or in the shop. But within that micro scale, sort of like the people who live there, they kind of like, you can describe them by but whatever behavior they do, it's so easy to see. I don't know, maybe, you know, living in Brighton is sort of like so many people, and you are eager to sort of like express yourself. Do you need to do it? Or
to express yourself?
Yeah, what is the problem? I'm not on social
media.
Yeah, no.
I think I got frustrated with the fact that in my head I judged myself for it, and I questioned my identity and everything for it. And the journey of getting out of that and being fine about it is fine. But now I'm in a stage where I'm like, well, I'm okay with it. Everyone around me is okay with it. Everyone is great about it. But what do I do with it now? I've got a license to do whatever I want. But in society, when I say society, it's more like my idea of how society would perceive it outside of my group of friends, for example. Let's say there's a rude boy in the street who might get shanked or something. You know, I'm just joking about that. You know what I mean? But these kind of things, it's like safety comes into it. Because I like to express this, but then I just want to blend in. I don't want to be like the centre of attention. I don't want people to grope me or anything. I'm not interested in that. I'm not doing it for the attention. I'm doing it to be like, all right.
Do you want to prove something to outside?
I just want to be. I just want to have the freedom to do anything I want. And this has been such a big passion of mine. I would love it for everywhere. If I went to Birmingham, I could do this. If I went to, I don't know, anywhere in the world, it would be fine. But I know there's certain pockets of the world where you would come across some serious trouble in doing this. In Brighton, we're fine. We've got no issues because everyone is really nice in Brighton. But it's still the element of danger because you make yourself vulnerable. And then people will look at some people that maybe don't like this idea. They look at you and go, "You're a man. You're dressed like a woman. I'm going to beat you up anyway because you're a man, and therefore, I don't know, you're a pussy, you're a pansy, or whatever." And I'll be like, "Yeah, I am probably a bit of a pussy, and I'm definitely a bit of a pansy. I really don't mind. That's fine. That's why I'm doing this, and that's fine." But they're not in derogatory terms. That's not what it is. But I'm accepting of that side of myself. I'm okay with it. But it's more to the safety of it. Whereas I never feel unsafe in any other situation. But if I'm dressed like this, then I instantly feel like unsafe. So I feel like the same thing that women feel anyway. To some degree, I can't feel the whole extent because obviously I'm not a woman. I'm just
But that's understandable. It's like every time you go out, you expose yourself to the world. So you basically are vulnerable. Whatever you dress, if it's a skirt, if it's trousers, if you have a wig, if you're going to a costume party and you're walking down the street in between the party and your car or the bus stop.
Yeah, no, completely.
If you are the only one dressed in, I don't know, medieval time, they're gonna stare at you anyway.
But I think, there's also a factor, for a woman, for example, like if I go just, in simple jeans and, jumper without any makeup, I don't get any attention because I probably look boring, to men. But then if I just dress up, a bit like better, there's constantly either, you actually need to look back that, no one is shouting at you, like, or, saying some sort of, just, simple ones like, "Hey, how you doing, beautiful?" Or, something else is like, "Hey, do you have a cigarette?" Or, a light, and then, someone wants to suddenly have a conversation with you because, you have pretty face. And something like that. So there is a factor actually in terms of, the way you dress up as a woman, that you feel vulnerable if you put high heels on, or if you put a skirt on. And like if I walked like at the night time, in Brighton is safe, but where I am from, there is not safe in Lithuania. And I was constantly scared, to walk in the dark and actually not to be, attacked by someone that you never know what can happen. But even in Brighton, I had a situation where I was actually going to do some sort of project about that. Because conversations that I had or comments that I've got from, I don't know, off license, some sort of man who's selling, stuff in there, that was not right. I was so like, "Oh, your boyfriend is really lucky." Or like, "Oh, you're not 24, you look like 18. Or, like 16 or something like that. That can't be right. And it's like, this is just so wrong to be in these sort of situations and you just think like, yes, I look in this way, but then no one actually takes me seriously, you know, in like everyday situations like that, because I looked in this way. And then you think like, what's wrong, you know, with people? Why, you know, I feel in this way because of that kind of thing that other people have. Some people, not all of them, but you know, there's factor also, you know, for females that you feel vulnerable, and most of the times you feel that way.
That's what I really wanted to highlight in like this performance, like, and actually get people to discuss that as well. Because if I can show someone that I can go from one state to another, and I'm definitely not a woman, then surely I can then be able to trick someone walking down the street, and I'll get similar comments. You know what I mean? If I did it right, and if it was the right lighting, the right angle, people might think the same too. And I wanted to do that because like that is a serious problem within society. And actually, like, I think, like, as men, we're very lucky that we don't have that worry, we don't have that stress. And it's because of the way that we do dress, if you think about it. I don't know, for example, if you're wearing trousers and a t-shirt, then you're not really provocative in any sort of way. But let's say if you're wearing a short skirt, then instantly your body's exposed to something, and then people instantly look at you and go, right, something's going on here, here's my cue to say whatever I want. Which is completely wrong as well. People need to understand boundaries too, and I think that's something that I'm passionate about, trying to get people to talk about, and also get people to actually implement in the world, because I hate seeing that sort of stuff. It's actually the biggest driving force, because I grew up with my mum and sister, and I've seen them in all sorts of stages, and I know what they've gone through, and I didn't like the fact that I didn't go through anything. I was lucky, I just breezed right past.
I would say that like this conversation that we're having right now, like about like what is provocative, and I think a lot of provocative clothing is actually like what is a provocative clothing has evolved over time because of environment and because of what the generation above us and above them have told the generation below. And when you think back to like 10 years ago, mini skirts and you know, fishnet tights, for example, completely unacceptable. Women would just never ever wear it. Whereas now it's because the conversations have become that actually women can wear more of what they want, and obviously we're not there yet. We're not at a point where women can just walk around and feel completely safe. But it's all about perception of clothing. So it's all about actually keeping the conversation going and making sure that the generation below us and below them and below them actually know that like clothing doesn't identify sexuality, and it's just, it identifies you as a person. Like, I personally believe that identity is based on what you stand for, and then you fill in the gaps. So you know, you stand for what you stand for. We all have our own different kind of individual ideas of that, but clothing is not. It doesn't have anything to do with sexuality. It has everything to do with yourself. So it's just changing, and it takes so long to change these kind of ideas and to change. But we are changing it as well. Like, we really are. You know, you walk. We're all here, and everyone's accepting. Like, you know, we're in Brighton. It's obviously a very accepting place, but it's actually getting like that across the country and across the world. You've just got to keep the conversation going. It's just so important.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, to get this experience is like really quite unique. I never thought when I was 14 I'd have this conversation. You know.
No, but that's miles ahead.
What are you saying, Gil? What are you saying?
Oh, many things. First of all, I wanted you to know that I've been following your, you know, pardon my choice of word, but your awakening, if that makes sense. Because, as you know, and as some others could have guessed, I'm gay. And basically, I was a late bloomer in that sense as well. Because society, family, I didn't have time to deal with it until very late, and I'm still working through it as we speak. So in the past 2-3 years, and I wanted to go back on the statement you made earlier, which was you did say I'm not going to change, or it's not going to change. It might, but let's go ahead and assume that it's not going to change.
I mean, that's something.
But I
think that's a lot of things.
You know, let's go with that, because it's likely to. I mean, if you felt that strong since then, I'm going to go ahead and assume it's going to stick around. Yeah, your family is not going to change either, but it doesn't quite matter, because I think Robin was kind of pushing that as well earlier, like where, you know, they're going to need time, most likely, because especially with the background you mentioned, it's going to take time, and but what really matters is mostly you, and the fact that it's been asked a few times in the different forms. So basically, I think a lot of people, especially because you wanted to make sure that it is something you enjoy, you do for yourself, and and obviously, I think we're all encouraging that you explore that as much as you can, because it's not you that's wrong, or you're not wrong doing it. It's that's just been discussed. It's rather the world that's not quite yet ready for it. But things are changing to connect back. I agree to it. But the same way you have concerns about safety, I do too. That's why also I like Brighton, because here, as my fellow French citizen here also said, in France I would not be behaving the same way I do here. Because in France we're not quite there yet, and so I would change my attitude. It's changing, but slowly. I know. We try. But yeah, but the point is, safety also. Do remember this, because women have their struggles, gays have their struggles. I don't know how you phrase what.
I don't really know.
Cross-gendering or
I don't really know what it is. Really.
But the term for that basically also brings a struggle, and obviously. It's sad, but we still need to compose with our environment, and I do in a way encourage you to obviously pursue this passion, but also do think safety, and make sure you can go through with your passion, surrounded by the right people, because you don't need to be ruined by people who are not ready, let's put it like that.
Yeah, completely. But it's a bit like, I'm going to use a metaphor, but it's like the Labour government going about Labour policies to Labour voters. I think what you need to do is you need to actually, if you want to get change, you need to actually speak to the people that are maybe causing the other side issue. So that's the same thing. I want to try and speak to as many people across the board. So I don't really know. I'll move to Berlin on Thursday, so I'll see what happens then. I don't know. I guess there's a way of getting out to different people, but at the same time, it's going to be the like-minded people that will be interested in the engagement. So I think it might be that I need to think of lots of different outlets to try and get this as an idea changed. And as I get older, the idea will change for me as well. And I've already noticed my confidence in it is skyrocketed, but I wouldn't have done half the stuff I just did now about even a year ago. Like, a minute ago, that idea was terrifying. But it's not terrifying. I'm sat here now and I'm not terrified. I feel perfectly fine, perfectly normal. I feel like all the things I anticipated that were going to go wrong when I was younger have actually not even been the case. And I was walking back from the Pride event because we did it, and it was quite fun. And I walked back about 9 in the morning.
Because we met on our way.
So you actually know this first hand.
I was on my way to work, so it was Sunday morning, right? So it was around like 9:30.
Around that.
Yeah.
It was a long night for me, and I bumped into Anesta fully when I was wearing what I was wearing. Which actually was nothing like Lil Debbie, really, so I kind of screwed that bit. But,
you look messed up.
A little bit. But that was quite fun, because I was like, oh shit, I've got to go. But I was like, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to walk, and I don't mind. I'll bump into some people. But I walk past people. I walk past lots of people on Western Road, which is quite a busy road. And I just walked, I didn't really mind, and no one batted an eye.
You know what happened exactly the same morning to me, because it was obviously like after Pride, loads of people on drugs and alcohol and stuff. So I was on my way to work, totally sober, and after I had a conversation with you, really short chat, this car kind of stopped, and I was like listening to podcasts or something on my way to work, and it said like, hey, do you need a lift? Like this dude in the car literally asked me like, hey, do you want to get into your car? I was like, no, like, fuck off, like, what the hell? And I thought, like, this is just ridiculous. It's Pride, and these kind of situations are still happening when you don't think that, oh, there's a girl walking down the street, maybe she's wasted, maybe I'll get her in the car and do whatever I want to. And I was a bit like, what the fuck just happened? And it's like you were walking also, like, dressed up as like in women's clothing, and I feel like this is quite interesting, and quite, how,
It was a strange thing to me. The idea of it was like, actually, the idea of Pride. Actually, I came into some scrutiny because I thought it, and then my friend Sam said, "No, that's wrong." But actually, I think it was came from good things. Basically, I was annoyed that like the whole idea that okay, so you've got one day for people to be proud of who they are, right? Okay, that's fair enough, that's great. But I don't understand why that can't be every single day. I don't understand why it then is included into one day. Because again, even then, that's a step towards great things, and it's an amazing event. I think it's the best event I've seen before. But I just think it's such a shame that every day can't be like that.
Yeah.
And it's
I
such
see it in the opposite way. Like I see it more as a celebration that we've come this far that being gay is accepted, and I don't see it as a day that suddenly you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Pride is a celebration that we now can do what we want every day. I see it completely differently. I saw it as more of a celebration that we are in this generation now, and lucky enough to live in a town and a country where it is accepted, and it's a celebration of that. I don't.
I a bit disagree.
I'm glad it's not Pride.
But at the same time, I would disagree about like the concept of Pride, and loads of people have different thinking about that. You say that it's celebration. You have said that every day can be like that. In my opinion, I think that Pride in Brighton, this is a great thing, and in Brighton people are much more open. But like in other countries and in other cities around UK, there is Pride. There is there is celebration, but there is not enough discussion, because originally Pride, when it happened, it was in the United States, and it was actually, a fight. A fight for the rights.
Talk a lot.
But even when Pride started in Brighton, like there was, if you go back sort of 10 years, there was actually like police security around it, because it was basically where you would have the float that would go through the town, whereas now it's like a kind of a public event, and people are actually beginning to kind of bring their children along, to watch it, and it's a family event. You rewind 10 years and it wasn't the case, and it was actually heavily armed, and we're talking about a city which is supposedly one of the most open cities in the world, and it's taken us, that long to get to that point, and I think people are listening to that, like worldwide, nationally, and worldwide. I think it's a slow process, but I think it is moving in that direction, and it's really positive.
I think it's really positive, it's great, but at the same time there's like lackness of discussion, lackness actually of, some sort of conversation. It's kind of,
destroying the taboo by showing you like that.
Yeah, but at the same time, like I found, like I lived in Brighton for 4 years, but it's kind of when they decided to do, like to charge people for the entrance or something. It's like, it's, controlling the mass of people that come in, come out and stuff, but like I didn't know any kind of events where actually, some sort of, performance would happen, and people would talk, as you did today, about certain things that are not accepted still in the society. So that's what I'm thinking about, that, Pride, this is great, this is a celebration of, people who can be free, but at the same time, Pride lost its purpose actually to discuss and kind of to, to share the thoughts about certain topics.
It's happening now. It's happening now, and this is already actually
it happens on TV. Everything is, we talk a lot, and sometimes people just need to have fun and love people and get fucked up and just have a massive party and make that, accepted. There's TV programs, there's documentaries, we all know that it's fine.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's just 1 year.
Yeah.
It's just a celebration that it is okay.
Pride is so I mean, you go to Berlin. I think Berlin is quite the same. Just
I think it's 10 times.
But it's not. I don't know. Paris, do you imagine? I don't know. Yeah. I mean, we still need to destroy taboo, but it will take a lot of time. But I think it could be great maybe to add some event. I don't know. Maybe next Pride you could organize an. I don't know. It could be very interesting.
Yeah, it could even do like performance next Pride or something.
Yeah.
So like maybe like a street performance.
I think it could be
Could
great.
be interesting. I'll prove at the stage I'll be alright with that.
Do you think that you're going to try to perform in Berlin?
That's my aim. I got this kind of mission, right, to try and infiltrate. I'm going to try and infiltrate the fashion scene. As someone who could potentially do that. So I'm thinking that, and that's the perfect medium. You've got fashion, everyone looks at fashion in terms of their influences. I was thinking, well, if I can tap into that, and then it gives me the opportunity to express the characters that I'm quite curious about, but give them freedom. But also, it's the perfect medium to highlight these things too, because they can go, I can clearly state, I'm a man, and then have these pictures. And if I get really good at it, it gets to the point where people are like, whoa, is that actually? No, maybe, I don't know. And then that can then change a lot of things and change the way people look at things. Because as we say, it is a very gradual process. And I think it's like, and for me, I'm still in the process of trying to work it all out. I'm in the middle, like, I'm just happy that I don't have to like hide something anymore. But I don't feel like I don't feel like I've come out in that way, because it's a different kind of thing to it. It's like, I don't really know what I've confessed to. Just what I've just done now, I don't know what I've just done. It's almost like my brain doesn't comprehend it, it just does and thinks later. I don't know, it's all a bit too much sometimes.
Do you really think it will have a huge impact? I mean, you can, if you, at one point you want to say, let's wear like men's stuff. I mean, you can, you're not closed in something, you're trapped.
Well, yeah,
so
no,
why are you being, you're scared of what?
Well, I mean, what scared of wearing the wrong gender things or that?
No, I mean, because you say that to people, and what you're scared that maybe you will change something or impact your life.
Well, I was really terrified of that. But the more I do it, the more I realise how happy I am to take it off at the end of it.
Yeah.
Because at the same time, it's really nice to just go back to t-shirt and shorts, because it's easier, it's practical, and it's me. This isn't really me. It's just like a different level of me. But at the same time, it's a big burning thing that I would like people to. I don't even want people to see it. I don't really mind people to see. If anything, being invisible is quite nice. It takes away that anxiety. But like, it's something that I would like the freedom to be able to do, and not just seclude it to a room. So that's why it's quite nice to do it in a room like this, because it felt like a bedroom. And that's what I wanted to try and do. I replicated exactly what I would do in my bedroom. Exactly. And I've been doing this for years. I do this thing where I ramble on and get the question. What was the question?
The question was more, when you spoke about unable to have, sex with a girl anymore, or have children and stuff.
Yeah.
Why you have these thoughts? Because you could, I don't really understand why you think it could impact your life as such a long term,
Yeah, no, I mean, I was worried that like people's perceptions of it would mean that who would want to go out with someone who does this, or who would want to get married to someone who does this, who would want to have children with someone who does this later on in my life, whatever. And I was worried how it would affect my later life. I was genuinely concerned that I would have to adapt my life quite heavily in order to, or just completely stop it altogether. Otherwise, I won't be able to ever have the children that I want, the family that I want, and the way that I've always been built up. And that's all I want in my life, is just to create new versions of me. Just be careful that light, Guillaume, it's a little bit loose. Just as a pre-warning. I'm terrified.
I am best friend with it.
Yeah, that's okay. It's okay. It's secure. But yeah. It's secure, but not completely secure.
What was the warning?
Yeah.
The warning came first. But it's secure.
But anyway, it's secure, but it's not secure. It's secure if we don't touch it. That's what it is. I don't know. I mean, I realise it's time. So yeah, thank you for coming. I really appreciate it.
I'll give it to him.
Yeah, because I don't know. What do we have to fully leave now? Thank you. We're going to be in on Tuesday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know you, but I came with Olivia on. That was amazing. That was so good.
Yeah, hopefully there'll be more at some point.
Drinking session.
What are we doing now? Are we going to go for
30 minutes without
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, I'm around whenever. So, any evening is good for me.
I'll come back.
Yeah, cool. Any evening is great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. It was nice to, thanks for coming down. I really appreciate the time. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for coming. Good luck. Cheers, man. Thank you. Yeah, I'll do my best. We'll see. But yeah, any evening is good.
I had some fatherly feelings when he told me about that guy from the Craigslist.
Yeah,
my
that's
heart
scary.
went bananas. It was like,
Thank you.
And also, I have an idea for the whole project.
Sweet.
I don't want to like use it, but what do you want to do?
Yeah, go. See. Thank you. And the question you asked was brilliant. It was because I'm going to start thinking about it. It's really interesting.
That's why.
But you tell me if anyone told me, you know, just have to be yourself. That's it.
Definitely. Excellent.
Hey, John.
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Sorry, like mastermind idea. So in terms of like from an artistic point of view, you're sharing your journey. So I think every 3 months you should do this in this space every 3 months and do or 6 months and do a separate performance on how your journey's been. So you're about to have a massive journey in learning, and you can explain the questions that people are asking and the conversations that people are having, and feed it back to that group.
Sure. That's definitely.
Because it's then like it's got an actual live.
And the content will change as well. So instead of just me being, because at the moment I was test run, I had no idea. I just thought,
d'accord.
Yeah, that's exactly what
Non,
it's
je
supposed to
disais.
do. But I
Avec
think
un de mes collègues qui était là.
you also
Attends, tu es français ou tu parles français?
Oui, je suis français.
How your choice
Mais
of fashion changes, how
ouais, non,
your
je disais, celle avec les lunettes.
body on the stage changes, and then in 2 years' time
Ah
you can actually look at
Ouais, non, c'est toujours un peu chiant ce genre parce que c'est. Tu sais, genre, moi je crois sincèrement qu'ils croient. Non, mais voilà, c'est genre, tu sais, trop pas subtil, genre.
Because I've already changed very much, like, in terms of more assured of my own personality.
Non, mais
even just through the process of
je sais pas si je peux dire, tu vois,
and then all of a sudden, I feel like much more people find me interesting now.
Non, mais je veux dire, après, non, mais personnellement, je pense qu'elles ont, ces personnes ont vraiment des opinions, c'est juste qu'elles ne savent pas l'exprimer et que c'est trop. Il y a trop un filtre, tu vois, genre le filtre, ma life, ma story, mon point de vue, était un peu en mode, je passe en la salle, quoi.
Je pense que moi, ce qui m'intéressait plus, c'était le côté. Enfin, en fait, je suis dessinée et déjà, bon, ça. Enfin, c'est juste le côté, déjà, je pense qu'il ne veut pas changer son identité, il n'y a pas. Enfin, je sais pas comment dire.
Non, mais moi j'avais plein de questions, c'est juste qu'il y avait trop à parler et que, évidemment, moi aussi j'avais.
Et puis, je pense aussi, le plus facilement, les gens vont pas trop mal fascistes, là où je suis carrément super curieuse et beaucoup comprendre. Et je sais que c'est pas bien.
Mais nous, tu vois, pour que tu comprennes, moi, elle et quelques personnes, avec ses collègues, bon, il vient de donner sa démission, il part là, et nous, bon, bah, ça, on a dû s'habituer, quoi. Enfin, c'est pas en mode immature, mais c'est en mode, putain, nous, on l'a au bureau tous les jours, tu vois, c'est ouf, quoi, tu vois. Non, je veux dire. Non, mais en mode, on s'en fout, quoi, il y a que dans le porno où elles font toujours des chailles de ouf, quoi, tu vois, t'es là, genre, ça, c'est en fait, c'est pas normal. Et non, mais il faut se le rappeler, hein, surtout quand on regarde, t'es là, genre, ça, non, il faut pas se bloquer sur ça, surtout ça à 15 mètres. Non, mais du coup, non, et puis il a fait quand il a expliqué il y a quelques mois, il a mis sur son post sur Facebook, et on est tous là, genre bon, ok. Et non, et puis comme je disais, moi personnellement, j'ai suivi de loin son truc, enfin de loin près, de près, mais j'ai rien dit parce que j'avais d'autres problèmes à gérer dans ma vie, mais du coup, il y a beaucoup de trucs qu'il dit, ou des histoires, moi je suis là, c'est pas pareil, tu vois, et il y a plein de trucs que j'aurais dû plus lui dire en mode. En tant que personne qui a 1 ou 2 ans d'avance sur le process, sur le procédé par rapport à toi.
C'est quoi ton procédé toi?
Bah, je vais dire, moi c'est la procédé que j'ai payé, tout ce que ça signifie, tout le bordel. Et ouais, qu'il y a plein de trucs en mode, si c'est pas. Tu t'en fous quoi. Genre, si c'est ce que t'aimes faire. Non, 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 bien sûr, mais justement. Mais c'est pour ça que je lui ai dit fais gaffe, fais-le et fais gaffe quoi. He wants to talk.
Yeah, just wanted to say hello and yeah, well done. And you're part of the revolution. That's great. That's cool. And I'm very interested by I don't know, by more maybe the science stuff. So maybe if we could have maybe I don't know what we could do. But I'm quite happy to because I think maybe you don't do it just social, but but when you say I just have that and then I'm a man. And
it's nowhere near as simple as that.
You'll stick around for a little bit, right?
Oh yeah. I'll probably have to go back to normal. So
okay. Well, I'm just going to the toilet.
Yeah. No worries.
So I'm I don't know. I think it could be great. Because I told you I was quite interested to ask you some questions and about I quite like the why and also I have so many questions now, much more than before, and I think it will be very interesting. When are you going to Berlin?
This Thursday, but I've got all day, pretty much free. Well, not Monday, but Tuesday, Wednesday.
I will be in Berlin from the 2nd until the 5th. Sorry, 5th.
Of September?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I've just been moving there straight away.
Yeah, if you want, let's have a drink and stuff. I might go to clubs, so if you want to come with my friend anyway.
Cool.
And also, if you do you want names? Because I went to some nice, performance in Berlin.
Okay,
I can ask. I don't remember the place, but I'm pretty sure I can. If you want some contacts or stuff, I can. I know one guy. I think it should be great. He knows quite a lot. Depends if you want to sneak in and like without people. I don't know what.
Well, I'm just literally open book. I've got 2 months there confirmed. So I've got enough money to live for 2 months, and then I'll see what happens.
Okay.
So literally, I've got no plans and everything's finished. So that sounds great.
I just need to find. I don't remember. I think on Facebook we're still friends, and I can. So I will just ask that guy, or because of that girl with who I went, it's just Constance description. Anyway, so anyway. So it was very nice to see you doing that. And, well done, because I think it was quite fresh. I imagine it can be very stressful.
I was stressing out today, that's for sure. I was like, before that, everyone thought no one's going to turn up. I just didn't know. And then all of a sudden everyone started turning up. I was like, whoa, okay. And I felt alright about it.
Yeah.
But it was good. It wasn't easy. But then I kind of had to look up and just ignore.
It's fine.
Around me,
maybe you will get used. I don't know. And if you have questions about makeup and stuff, just
Yeah.
Because sometimes I was smiling because when you were putting the stuff, you were like nobody puts lipstick like that, and and I just wanted to help you and be like.
It's quite because I didn't grow up with it, so I have no idea. I'm just guessing.
Or putting it's really No, really. If you have some question or if you want I'd go on YouTube and there is tutorial.
I actually had a whole list of what I needed to do, and I could do it really well. But then it was really hot and red lights. I couldn't see what colour anything was. And but I figured, okay, I'll get a rough idea of what I'd do.
I think the thing that to cross-dress when it's great. No, I like it.
Well, thanks.
Great. Cool. So what are you doing after?
I don't really know. I might go for a beer or something.
Yeah.
Are you gonna hang out down here, or are you gonna go somewhere?
We might just go quickly to Green Door Star, but I'm sure it will be full. I don't know.
Okay.
There is this 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you know Green Door Star?
Oh yeah, Green Door Star is by this train station.
And there is there were a festival on 2 days.
Oh well, I think I think so.
Actually, the last band. The last band is playing now, so I don't know. Maybe we might just have a look and see. But it was great to see you, and we contact you when I will be ready.
Definitely, that'd be wicked. That'd be cool. And I've got a place I'm renting. So if it makes it easier for you, then there's always a place there. So you don't have to worry about accommodation if you wanted, obviously.
Oh, that's really nice.
But I'll be living there. But I don't know if you've already got accommodation.
It's fine. But I'm definitely up for a beer.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be really good.
Yes. And you have to go to Berghain, no? Especially with this question.
Yeah. I'm gonna go at some point. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Put some makeup, they like that.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Okay. Yeah. Definitely.
So Marie, my friend, and Alex. Yeah.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm sorry for the angle that you got there.
Oh yeah, I didn't know how to react when it fell.
No,
it's fine.
It's nice. Yeah. Definitely. Thanks for coming down. It's great feedback. Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Are we going? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Bye.
All right. Thank
Bye.
you. See you soon. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Give me a second and I'll be fine. Alright, you've got me. I'm fine. I'm alright. Yeah, I'm okay now, don't worry. That's really bad timing. What are you up to?
You're brave, man. You're cool.
Oh, thank you.
That was really good.
It was quite terrifying. Well, luckily I knew pretty much nearly everyone. But still, I don't know, I said some things I didn't tell before.
But do you feel good?
I do, yeah. I feel alright. Yeah.
Feel proud?
Yeah, I'm happy just finished now. Because I just was exhausted about thinking about it. And stuff,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wicked.
Well, what are you up to now?
I'm gonna go to sleep.
I'm gonna go to sleep, okay. Well, we'll have to go for that beach swim before we go.
Yeah.
Because... I think like it would be. I had this idea actually as well. We could send letters. I don't know if you like letters.
I like letters.
I could just send you my address and then vice versa, and then send letters.
Okay.
And then it's something to look forward to. Because I'll be gone, but I don't want to lose contact.
Post is good.
Yeah.
It's physical. I like physical.
It's nice. You can read it. Oh, nice. That was all good. And then you could do weird drawings or something.
Yeah.
Whatever. There's no criteria. Just whatever it is.
Okay.
If you wanted
Send
to.
me your address. My new address is number 3 Margaret Street.
Okay.
Place, Margaret Street.
I can write it down.
Okay.
That's been recording the whole time. Let me just have a look. Number 3. Okay. So number 3, Margaret Street.
London, Kent Town, Brighton, BN something.
Okay, BN.
I'm sure Google Maps.
Google Maps covers that part.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, wicked.
Yeah.
Right.
Thanks for.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a thing.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It kind of feels like a thing, but I don't know.
And the discussion, was that like?
It was interesting. I think people had some interesting things to say. I think it was quite nice. Everyone seemed quite engaged with it. And stuff, which is good.
Yeah.
It's exactly what I wanted to do. So.
Yeah.
It was less for me. It was more for like other people.
It's for everyone, for you and for everyone. It's like putting something out there to hear it come back, but then to hear it come back to everyone in the room, like as a circle sitting down, is really nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And then like, kind of what I like resolve with it is like that if you're doing things, do them because you want them to, and be like a light bulb where they just go out, and to try and, although you have to think about how other people are perceiving you and like kind of inside, outside in, like that can sometimes get you into like a negative place because you're gonna perceive like maybe the bad things that people are perceiving about you, but whereas if you're just doing it because you want to do it outwards, just know that like if you're doing it with a positive energy, then like that's hitting 90% of the people with a positive energy because you're comfortable with it. And, so.
And that's good because then instantly people will be like, oh right, they'll be like, oh right, this is okay.
Yeah.
Instead of it being like, oh, I don't know, that's a bit weird. I'm not sure about that. I just want to just do it, just be completely bombed with it, really.
Yeah.
And,
genuine with it and like enjoy it and don't worry about it. But like obviously there'll be people worrying about it, but like that's their worry and it's not yours because you do what you want to do. And like the guy there was saying like that he's come out after loads of time. But that's something different, but it's like all these kind of like minority groups or like fringes of ways of thinking that are like,
Definitely. Yeah. I'm going to be out your way now. Thank you for having me up here. I'm sorry it was like that.
Are you done?
I will be. I just need to get changed again.
Alright.
But I'll only be like 2 minutes. Not even that.
That's fine. I'll give you some privacy.
See you, Alex.
Yeah, see you soon. See you shortly.